Um, so, hello everyone. Um, uh, Carl, it's great to see you, and I'm glad that um, your health has returned, not 100% from just listening to you speak. Apparently, COVID likes to stick around a little bit, huh?
It made a return. Now my symptoms are pretty much just headache, really bad. I never get
Mm.
headaches. And being dizzy when I move, sitting and talking, no big deal. Moving around, working with people.
Wow.
I haven't worked with hardly anyone in the past since mid-December, but I had 3 negative tests after having COVID. Now, maybe yesterday's test, the fourth one, the positive test. Maybe it's a false positive. I get tested again Monday because I have to know. Do I
Wow.
quarantine? I have a 3-month-old granddaughter. I can't expose my kids or my granddaughter or any of my patients or clients. So I'm going to get through it, but it's a weird one, man. Yes, it's strange times right now.
Sense of taste and smell. Do you have that?
Unfortunately, my appetite is very good, and I've put on 7 or 8 pounds, and I got to wear them off. But the sense of smell is completely gone.
Oh my goodness.
I got nothing. Sense of taste is good.
Speaking of weight, I'm moving the topic away from your COVID, which
Mhm.
I don't mean to give it short shrift, but
No, no, we
I,
don't
d-
need to
I,
talk
I
about that, anyways.
all right. I did want to thank you because you really were the most insistent voice, along with my wife's, uh, about my getting serious to lose weight, and it took me a while, and there's an expression, and I'm not making light of any illness or disease.
Hmm.
In fact, it's quite heavy. But a friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer, and he talked about the gift of cancer, um, which the first time I heard that, I was, what the gift of cancer. Um, but I think there are gifts in all things, if we can see them, and this lockdown uh, for all the losses that everyone has experienced, the loss of being able to see and embrace one another, the loss of our livelihoods, um, the real loss of uh, places near and dear to us, concert halls, jazz clubs, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, the loss of lives. Um, all of us have found uh, silver linings to the cloud, or some kind of grace. And for me, this is the first time almost ever uh, that I have not traveled,
Hmm.
and so I've been home for a year, and now I wasn't left to my own devices to. I mean, it's funny. When my wife and I have breakfast, we have a small bowl, fruit with a little bit of yogurt and
Hmm.
a sprinkling of granola. Now, in the old days, that would just be my starter.
Hmm.
If I was at a hotel buffet, boom, okay, done with that, and then I get the big omelet, and
Sure.
I'd have 3 or 4 plates of stuff, uh, and that was just breakfast. So I had very bad self control, and the hours were weird, and so you just felt like you had to grab food when you could. So I
Hmm.
was always grabbing food. Um, anyway, long story short, um, anywhere between 36 to 38 pounds lighter than I was when this
Good for
thing
you,
started.
man.
Yeah, it
Good for
feels
you.
good,
That's a
but
big accomplishment. That's huge. That's great.
now I'm plateaued, so I want to, I want to,
Hmm.
now get it down. But the blood pressure is good, um, everything's good. So I'm just waiting for our second vaccination shot, and
Hmm.
hopefully we can not get the bug. I'm sorry you got it. Uh, d- any idea how you got it? Sorry, I'm bringing it back. But
Oh, it's okay. No, I mean it could be go into the grocery store and I touch something the wrong way. I touch the wrong thing. I could be, there's so many possibilities,
Who knows? Yeah.
right? But you're right, though. I mean, I was traveling a lot too in my work up until a little
Mm-hmm.
before a year ago. And I mean, I was on a plane last March to go to Florida, meet our son and his wife, and hang out with my wife. And that was right at the end, man. It's like the first week of March, and we knew it's like, oh man, I think we got to get home and stay home. So we go home and stay home. Haven't been anywhere since. And I found that I really enjoy being home, like a lot. And I've
That's
gotten a lot
great,
done,
right?
different kind of stuff. My book came out, finally got that thing done. Another one coming.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it's been an opportunity in a lot of ways to, I was also forced into the online training platform and rehab
Mm.
platform. And I wanted to do it before then, but well, it's like you're talking about Instagram. I know how to post on there, but I don't really know how to pull in traffic. So I just I was learning how to do a Zoom session with somebody for rehab, and now I do that most of the time. So that's a gift because I don't have to go anywhere. I've taught workshops all over the world and been a keynote speaker at conferences right from this
Wow.
bedroom.
I mean, it's
So it's
amazing, right?
cool. Yeah.
All right. The reveal. You're in your bedroom. Well, um,
Yeah, it's my
okay. I
daughter's
have a
old bedroom.
question about my home recording setup. Well, I was going to segue uh,
Sure.
into this is how I spent my summer. Um, when my wife and I were in Vienna, and I was finishing up a couple of very special concerts with the Tonkünstler Orchestra, uh, which is based in Vienna, Austria. And we played in the Musikverein, which is a beautiful hall. I don't know if I have a um, photo of it here. Let me see. I'm going to have to find that. And I will. Uh, that's where the New Year's Eve concerts every year take place with the Vienna Philharmonic. It's this beautiful
Oh,
concert
great.
hall, and I've played there a couple times in the past. But this being a concerto soloist um, with the orchestra, and of course, I was aware of all this in January because the news was just coming out, and they were calling it the Wuhan
Hmm.
virus, and of course, with the NAM show, and the NAM show was always a place where you you meet and see a lot of people. There's a lot of handshaking, and a lot of people come down with something after every NAM show.
Hmm.
Hence the expression "Namthrax." So uh, I was being very careful because uh, a number of musical instruments are made uh, in Wuhan, including I mean there are Wuhan cymbals, and
Symbols, yeah.
and so
Hmm.
I was like, wow, I wonder if any of those folks are coming in. In fact, they hadn't. I think they didn't travel to Nam. So, so already my radar is kind of out about germs, and then I see this guy. I'm just spending like a day and a half at the show. I booked a hotel one night for myself, and so it's early Sunday morning. And the NAM show, they have the main display floor, but the basement floor, which oftentimes you can find very interesting smaller companies there,
Hmm.
that opens a half hour before the main show. So instead of standing around outside, I figured, well, I'll go down and take advantage of that half hour. So it's not very crowded. I see a place to sit down. I'm already feeling like it'd be nice to sit down.
Hmm.
And I probably had my cup of coffee, my Starbucks coffee. So I'm going to go sit down. Um, and there's some other guy sitting there, and he's kind of messing with his phone like this, and then at the Anaheim Convention Center of all places, he licks his phone screen and then
Oh.
wipes it. So I'm like, whoa! I get so. Uh, I hope he's okay. But thanks to him, I'd like, wow, I really got to be careful. So when we went to Vienna, I already had a whole packet of alcohol wipes, masks. We were so on the airplane. We were already doing the social distancing thing, and this
Hmm.
is in February. Um, Came home. I had one more gig in Boise, Idaho. Uh, uh, at that point, LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, was seemed like a bit of a ghost town
Hmm.
compared to how it normally would be. The flight was full, but I paid to upgrade myself so I'd get that one seat right by the door so I could be
Yeah.
not just socially distant but antisocial.
Hmm.
Um, and I was already like, uh, get on an elevator
Yeah,
using
the
something
knuckle
else to
thing.
touch the
Uh-huh.
button or the knuckle
Sure.
thing, and really trying to not get sick. So by the time things really kicked into gear, being married to a Japanese woman and having spent enough time in Japan, the wearing of masks is kind of second nature.
Hmm.
And I felt no like, uh, oh, my rights were being trampled upon or something.
Hmm.
That's silly. Um, and uh, and it's been interesting some of the people that have come out of the woodwork, who are either against wearing masks or
Hmm.
think that this thing is not real or against vaccines. Uh, and all those people that reject that, I reject all of them and all of that. My father was a doctor, a man of science. It's science that's going to get us through this thing, and it was uh, the delegating of science to such a low tier of influence and importance
Hmm.
in this past year by the miscreants who were managing things.
Hmm.
And so I didn't mean to get political, but
Oh no, I'm
I
with
get
you, brother.
enraged. I get enraged when I think of the malfeasance, the malevolent. Uh, anyway, so
No, we're
uh,
cool. It's my show, and I'm with you. You say
okay,
whatever you want, man.
mendacity, malevolence, uh, mediocrity, all sorts of things. Anyway, I'll stop.
By the way, I'm
Hi,
very
folks.
sorry, very sorry. Adam Nussbaum is here. Mr. Nussbaum. Hey,
Yay!
what's going on, man? By the way, man.
My friend and
Ter-
my hero. Now he was one of the last guys I got to hear play live.
ah,
Uh, I've talked about this before, but this was a year ago, just a little over a year ago, at the
hmm.
Jazz Education Network or Educators Network, or
Hmm.
the Gen Conference
Oh
in New
yeah.
Orleans. And the final concert that I saw there was a tribute to Elvin Jones's Lighthouse Quartet. That was with
Oh,
Dave Liebman, Steve Grossman, Gene Perla. So
whoa.
two of the original members are playing. It's Gene Perla on bass, Dave
Hmm.
Liebman on tenor, Adam Nywood is playing the other saxophone, and Adam Nussbaum. And it sounded great, but I was like, I'm not going to stand out here and listen. So I walked right up, uh, and just went to the side of the stage because that's my favorite place to listen.
Yeah.
To the drums. I'm just so used to with jazz festivals, and they sound great.
Hmm.
Right off to the side, and uh, and Adam just it sounded incredible. And I've said it a few times that uh, he sounded more like Elvin than just about anyone I'd ever heard. And I explained to my students, I said, uh, I think the reason why he did was because he's not trying to sound like Elvin. So he wasn't
Mm.
being imitative, because that's the first place most of us go. We go to
Sure.
okay, I'm going to start imitating. Um, uh, I'll bring it back to myself for a second. Um, I was fortunate enough, in this long and varied, storied career of mine, to get to work with Steely Dan. This is back in 1993, and I was doing a pretty good imitation of the various drummers who had recorded different Steely Dan tracks. And the drummer who was the most compelling and interesting was for Carl.
Hmm.
And I got a chance to another chance to work on the music that Jeff had played when I did a tour with the Jags 2 summers later. And I had a pretty good imitation going of the way Jeff played. One night, Carl, um, we're in the middle of a concert. Lenny Castro, great percussionist, he's playing percussion,
Okay.
uh, and and all of a sudden I played something not imitating Jeff, but I played it because that's what he would have played at that moment. It just I recognized it
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I did it, and I kind of looked up and I see Lenny's smiling, looking at me, and he's playing, and he yelled over during the tune. He just laughed. He said, "Now you get it. Now you get it." You know,
Uh-huh.
and so people can hear. They can tell the difference between being imitative and
Mm-hmm.
so. Anyway, I'll take half a step off the soapbox, but I will explain that we were of course in the middle of the early part of our semester
Mm-hmm.
at the University of Southern California, and so I'm doing my teaching in front of uh, my iMac computer on the desk, and I would take the Zoom camera that I was using instead of the built-in camera, and then
Yep.
I would take it over to a drum set. In this case, I was taking it over. Let me show you. Here, I was taking it over to this wonderful old vintage
Oh,
Rogers
look
kit,
at that Rogers kit, man. Jeez.
1965.
Beautiful.
I found it by Steve Maxwell,
Mm-hmm.
who discovered it had been sitting in a music store in Aurora, Illinois, since the mid '60s.
No
It
way.
had never been
Jeez.
played, and he wouldn't even play it on his
Mm-hmm.
website. He had a little video, and Steve
Mm-hmm.
always makes these great videos
Yeah.
of drums, and I love the way he plays. And he said, "I'm not going to play it. It's never been played." So I was at one of my students' recitals, and I saw it, and I said, "Oh, excuse me." I was congratulating the student after this, and I said, "Excuse me," and boom, I buy. I saw it. I bought it. Um,
That's great.
and I think it was on reverb.com.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to the teaching thing. So yeah, so I would go over to the drum set, play a little bit, and then I'd come back to the desktop, and the student would be playing into their the camera and microphone built into the lid of their
Mm-hmm.
uh, MacBook or laptop, whatever. Um, and so, okay, fine. We all got a pass because this was all relatively new. Then I figured University of Southern California, we're 4 miles from Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
If some school in, I'll pick a random state, Ohio, has a better audio video thing happening than we do, then we have no reason to stay in business.
Mm-hmm.
We've really got to up our game here. So um, all the educators were being across the country, particularly drummers and uh, in various schools, were all being very generous. We were all sharing, hey, try this setting on Zoom, try this, boom, boom, boom. The folks at the other Zoom, you know, this Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
were also being very helpful, and this was like the way to go, you
Yep.
know. But why stop at one camera? And and I had a two-camera setup that worked very well for a few years running now as part of the artistworks.com teaching that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an analog-based system, meaning that the video and output, the video output from the camera was those three RCA, the red, blue, and green
Mm-hmm. Yep.
plugs of this
Right.
composite video, and that plugged into this big clunky switcher box, and I would push one button or the other. Um, I wanted to go digital, but I couldn't combine the Zoom digital with this system. I tried any number of ways to make that happen. Um, the only switcher that I was aware of was a system that Dave Weckel was using. And Dave's always at the forefront of stuff.
He's really good with the tech stuff.
He's so smart.
He taught me how to use
And
my camera because I didn't know how to use it. Just do the F stop here. Here, now we'll do a selfie. Oh, okay.
yeah, although I did get um, we ran into each other. I think it was in Trondheim, uh, Norway.
Okay.
So we're way in the north of Norway in the winter, and he was traveling with Mike Stern, and I think I was traveling with my trio, uh, was known as my ECM trio,
Mm-hmm.
uh, John Taylor and Palle Danielson. Uh, anyway, we're chatting in the departure area, and then it's time to board the plane. Now it was a MD-80, McDonnell Douglas plane, and the Scandinavian Air System MD-80s had a very nice seating arrangement in the very front.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to like what Southwest has. I think
Yeah.
the first couple rows are facing each other, and when you ride in the back, it's bumpy, and you're right by the, the toilet, and it's just not very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So I, Dave and I were both these seasoned enough travelers, so we kind of, as we're talking, we say, hey, let's go stand in line, and we're kind of at the front of the line, and boom, and that whole thing. Um, and now we're in the open tarmac. There wasn't a jetway,
Mm-hmm.
so we're in the cold, and he starts heading towards the back, and I had every intention that we're going to be able to grab those seats in the front, and I
Yeah.
could gauge there weren't that many people. It would be fun. We could continue the conversation. So I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, and he gets real serious. He goes, uh, "Statistics reveal that and uh, in the likelihood of a plane crash, then 80% of any survivors were seated in the last row. Some I don't know. He throws this statistic at me.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I said, "Really?" I said, "Dave, if this plane goes down, we can all kiss our ass goodbye. So, let's be comfortable."
That's
And then he
funny,
looked at
man.
me and he went, "Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Okay."
Oh my, that's
Like, come
that's
on, you know.
he
But
cracks
he
me
had
up.
a
Yeah.
statistic handy. So anyway, so Dave had the Roland
Mm-hmm.
system, which I'm sure worked fine. It was a little bit cost prohibitive, especially because the technology now wasn't the latest, and so I'm kind of waiting and seeing. And then these puppies become available, and this is
Oh.
the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro, and I've piggybacked a Mini
Whoa,
onto
nice.
it as well. So this enabled me to hook up my HDMI cameras, and these cameras that had the analog also had HDMI output.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so each ATEM handles 4 video inputs. Guitarist Peter Sprague, uh, he's the gentleman, by the way, that taught me that expression about the gift of cancer. A very, very brilliant guy, based in San Diego. We got in a conversation online, and he said, you can piggyback those things, even
Wow.
though I think they don't recommend it. But so I take the output of the second ATEM and put that into one of the inputs of this. So now I have 7 inputs.
Wow.
And then I split one of those 7 between
Mm-hmm.
my iPad and another camera, and I don't have it set up and running, but maybe you can see it on top of that gobo.
I can.
Um, I've
That's
got a
cool.
camera on a carbon fiber rail,
Mm-hmm.
and that moves back and forth. You can program it, and it rotates, and it's pretty damn cool. So anyway, you can see I have a number of cameras
Yeah, that's great.
all over the place. And I'll give you just the camera tour. So, if I
Sure.
want to talk about uh, bass drum technique,
Look at that bass drum. I
I
love
can go
that.
there.
That's nice, man.
Um, I can
Sounds
focus on the
great.
snare drum, and this snare drum camera can also go over here. So check this out. If I want
That's
to
great.
work on brush technique,
Man, this sound is
that's
great, Peter. You said it's
oh,
stereo for
thank you.
sure. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, well, I have my engineer Aaron Walk to thank for that. I'll get more into that in a second.
Okay.
I have a true overhead
Hmm.
for the whole kit,
Great.
and then I have ride cymbal overhead if I really want to focus on this, and then I can also go back and forth. All right,
Nice.
and
Yep.
then my master shot, and then let's see, let's find a. I have the photo page up. Well, let me go first to music. So if I want to work on a piece of music with a student, boom,
Oh,
there's the
nice.
Colin Bailey bass drum control book.
Beautiful.
Or if I want to test a reading, or um, in the case of our get together here, um, and if we started talking about, uh, let's say Kenny Wheeler, um, there's a
Yeah.
photo of that's John Taylor on the left,
Right.
Gary Peacock,
Gary Peacock. Yeah.
Kenny, John Abercrombie, and myself.
What a band.
Yeah, last man standing, huh?
Mm. Hey, we have
So
some. I'm interrupting for 1 second. We have a couple viewers. Jeff
yeah,
Watts. Jeff Watts.
Jeff
Therese
Watts,
Yeah, Jeff Watts.
my hero.
My hero. Hey, Jeff. Sorry, Peter. I sent you a note through your website. I don't know if you got it. I want to talk with you. Therese DeMuzio, who we just talked between Skip this morning and this. We had a great conversation. Teresa
Hmm.
DeMuzio is here. Skip's is here. Julia Gillies, who I met through Jimmy Haslip. I'm sorry. Please continue the tour. I just wanted to tell you we had some folks there, and Adam Nussbaum and the whole crew here on Zoom.
Right.
Thank you. I talked with Adam
Wow.
a couple weeks ago.
Incredible.
Man, we had a blast. So stay positive and test negative. Parting words from Adam Nussbaum: stay positive and test negative.
There you go. That's good advice.
So I tested
Uh,
positive.
yeah, and stay negative. That's funny. Um,
Exactly.
I'll just wrap up the tour. So, getting it took there was a lot of it took all summer to get
Hmm.
all the kinks worked out with the audio, the video, getting the audio and video to sync. Um,
Sure.
Finding out that some cables don't like being longer than X number of feet.
Yeah, right.
Um, so just this final little bit of the tour. So I have a Mac Mini that's dedicated for the internet connects and the video, and then
Nice.
I can control. I've got these things called KVM switch devices, which allow me to switch my monitoring keyboard. That's my
Nice.
keyboard. They're my monitors. I can switch between um, the Mac Mini or the iMac, which is handling all the audio. But so I got this great setup,
Mhm.
and the cool thing about the ATEMs, you can do offset by frames to get the sound and the picture in sync.
Great.
And we tried it on all the platforms, and yeah, I'm getting pretty good at playing and then reaching over with my left hand and changing camera shots in real time. Uh,
Well, Peter, I
but the
just got to
weak
say,
link, it,
if you can run all this stuff, you can do Instagram.
I
I just
still
had to
can't
say
wrap my
that.
head around
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, there's an
But
art to it. Anyways, yeah.
Michael, is it pronounced Malo or Malo? Uh, Michael, Michael's is going to help me. So
Yeah, Michael. Uh,
put
need
me in
help
touch with
too.
Michael. Great. But
All
okay,
right.
so
Yeah, I
just
can do
fine.
it.
So
Yes. Hmm.
Malo, soft day. All right. Thank you, Michael. So the uh, the weak link in all this was the students.
Mm,
Not the students themselves, but if
right.
they were living in an apartment complex where, let's say, you either had a gamer who was
Hmm.
using up all the bandwidth, or you had three other students that also had classes at 10 a.m.
Hmm.
Um, the real bandwidth issues, number one. Number two, how many mics did they have? What function as a speaking mic versus the mic for the instrument?
Sure.
Uh, Cameras, and folks, if you're going to do teaching uh, from home, are you backlit? Do you have a light behind you that's washing out the uh, the ability or ease of us to actually see your facial
Hmm.
features? Um, so on and so forth. So, like Carl, you have it's a very clean setup. We had this guy who was reached out. He wanted to be an investment uh, counselor or whatever. He wanted to handle our investments, um, and we set up a Zoom meeting. And I don't begrudge anyone's living arrangements, or we're all struggling. But at least if you're going to do a business meeting from your bedroom, you might want to make the bed.
Oh, there's an idea there.
So I was like, I don't know if this is the guy handling all my money. Um, so anyway, what I did this past week was um, I hired my engineer, Aaron Walk is his name. He
Mm-hmm.
used to work at Capitol Studios, and brilliant guy, uh, and a very patient guy, which is good for me. And I had him work with each student. Uh,
Oh,
getting
good.
the getting the gain structures so that things aren't distorting somewhere along the line, or where to place the mics, and just to try to optimize your setup. So it's not a matter of just let's throw money at the problem. But so what we're doing at USC now, while we're awaiting the ability for all of us to be together in small rooms.
Mm-hmm.
None of the drum studios, like Skip was talking about, he's in a room where he could be 20 feet away.
Right.
We don't have that
Mm-hmm.
at Thornton. Now, I've seen those facilities at Berkeley; they're fantastic, and I think I know the room Skip's in. It's a wonderful teaching room. Um, we have good teaching rooms, but they're small, and 6 feet would be the maximum distance we could get between two drum sets. So uh, that coupled with an HVAC system, a ventilation system that's not the most contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they are doing work on that. But what the school and I have come up with is something called lesson pods. So I will teach from here, and my students will get the robustness of the university's internet system. Each pod, we're going to make three of them in the teaching studios, will have identical four-camera setups with an ATEM switcher,
Oh,
multi-mic with a mixer, and a large screen TV.
that's
So
great.
the students will be able to see me, on one of these nice big old monitors,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be able to focus on any part of the kit. And truth be told, a lot of technical issues. Just if I uh, want to work on
Yeah.
something with a student, we can get a camera point of view
Yeah.
that
It's
allows them a glimpse that they wouldn't get in a lesson.
exactly. Yeah. That's really nice.
No student's gonna get down on their hands and knees to,
Yeah. Right. Check out the
nor
footwork.
would I want them uh,
Yeah.
to to see how I'm playing the bass drum. But we can really focus
Man, that kick sounds
there.
awesome.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. What are the
Um,
heads?
this is it's a Renaissance Power Stroke.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 10 by 22. This is
I
the
was gonna
Tama
say it's not
uh,
really deep, but I love. It's just beautiful.
Tama Neo Mod.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just added this 14-inch floor tom, but this kit normally comes with a 10 by 16,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was a 7 by 12 tom. And uh, I've tried a lot of different kits in here in my
Mm-hmm.
studio. And by the way, I'll go back to so I have this really nice. I've got these
Oh,
wonderful
nice. Mm-hmm.
sound treatment
That's good.
tiles, and so I got all this jazz. But the shallower depth drums uh, seem to sound very good in this room. And this bass drum, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm using it for trio stuff. I'm using it for big band. It
Mm-hmm.
records like a charm, and it's great for teaching. And because it's a slightly smaller footprint,
Mm-hmm.
it's
So I'm sorry. You said it's 10. No. What's the depth again? What are the dimensions
Uh,
of that kit
uh,
again?
that's that. Normally, their Neo mod is it's like it's 10 by 20,
Hmm.
and they have a 12 and a 14. This particular kit, in that lovely gold, blue and gold Duco
Yeah, it's nice.
finish, that's 10, 7 by 12,
Hmm.
and it normally comes 10 by 16.
Okay.
And this is a 9 by 12.
Hmm.
9 by 14. Excuse me.
All right.
Um,
Well,
and
that's
I'll
great.
play them for you real quick. I'll
Sure,
turn
please
off my
do.
voice mic. Oh, wait. I mean, the most exciting thing, damn, almost forgot, is is this puppy right here. This is the 4.5 by 14
Oh,
snare
if you
drum.
can bring it down just a
It's a
little, we
signature
can't quite
drum.
see it. Yeah, if you can bring it down a little so we can see it,
Oh, wait, darn it, I'm looking in the wrong monitor.
it's all
Excuse me.
right. No sweat.
There we go.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
The signature snare
Um,
drum. Beautiful.
yeah, so it's 4.5 by 14 spruce and maple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, eight
Wow.
lugs. It's got the stick
Spruce.
saver hoops on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shut up and play.
Spruce. Yeah. Ah, yeah. There you go. Sweet.
Fun,
Very
right?
nice. Yeah, man.
So
Everything
so
sounds
this is
fantastic.
this is where I'm doing some recordings and a number
Mm-hmm.
of video teaching. I mean all my school teaching.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So Tuesdays and Wednesdays I'm here all day long. And then other days of the week, I might do master classes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a service now called Artist Access, where you can directly connect a number of artists without having to go through any middle people. It's all right there online. Caleb Chapman has put that together.
All right.
That that's kind of a good tool for both musicians peddling their wares and people who want to invite musicians to their schools. And you know what? Uh, Whatever happens, um, things don't go back. I mean, they will as much as possible, but a lot of I'm seeing it out here. A lot of productions are just realizing they don't need to book the big sound stages. Enough musicians had to start recording from home, and a lot of people kind of want to continue working that way. There's nothing that compares to real musicians playing music in real time,
Right.
playing real music uh, in a real studio. But uh, this has become a norm, and when things become a norm, they stasis that tends to set in a little
Yeah, a
bit.
big element if this is going to stay. Even like in my business in the workshops that I used to travel and teach all over the world, like we were talking earlier, get on Zoom. And each time we do it, we get a little bit better at it as far as organizing and breakout rooms and whatever we need. But it works. And I, I love to fly. I love airplanes, but I only like to fly for about 20 minutes. So I'm
But
ready to get off the plane, man. I don't need.
what about the 3 hour what about the 3 hours before you can even get that foot on the
Oh,
plane?
see, that's part of my problem. Not that anyone needs to know. I don't think I have a phobia of airports, but I don't enjoy airports. The bigger, the worse. Although there were a couple
Mm.
of like pretty nice, well organized, but I'd rather stay home. It's weird because it's kind of like I really want to go back to Italy. I want to go to Mexico again. I have a lot of work to do there. I
Well,
want to get to
you're better off flying than getting on a boat. I can tell you that.
that's for sure. And you get to LA because I just want to come out, like hang out with Jeff Richmond. If you're around, I want to see you. Jeff and I just want to hang out. By the way, my mom is watching now on Facebook. Hey, mom,
Hey,
do you know, Peter, this September, if I have my dates right, it would be 49 years ago we met. 49 years, man, right? With
mm-hmm.
the Kenton Band,
Yep,
72
49
September, I
years ago.
think. Wow, man. And mom was
Yeah,
there, right? Mom and dad
I
were there.
okay. So let me since you brought it up,
Hmm.
let's go back in the Wayback Machine.
Oh,
Let me
good.
see. So okay, so the Kenton days. Here we go.
There you go.
That's what I looked like when we met,
Hmm.
and I was playing that drum set. It was my old Ludwig kit with those huge Kenton cymbals.
That was like a 26 or what was the ride? 20 something?
That was a 27 ride at the time,
Oh, wow.
and I think that was still the 27. It was 27 or 26, and the two
Hmm.
crash rides were 24 inches, and then I had my own 22 swish, and those
Hmm.
were my 14-inch New Beat hats
Wow.
that I've
I
had
remember
forever.
that kit.
Single heads. Mel Lewis read me the riot act, and he actually singled me out. There was an interview in Downbeat or something, and I made a disparaging comment. And I remember, I think it was Lenny the music or somebody said, "Hey, Mel, take it easy. He's just a kid, you know."
Teresa, are you still with us? Teresa, I never spoke with Teresa the Musio before until today. And actually, how we first connected is I was doing something just like this with John DeChristopher, and she popped on,
Mm-hmm.
and then we became Facebook friends. And so we just had a really cool
Mm-hmm.
conversation here a little while
Hi,
ago.
Therese.
Man, you know what I love though, Peter, is like part of my intention on doing these conversations, if you will, is
Mm-hmm.
really there are a lot of people who just want to hear history. They want to hear stories. They want to hear what you've already shared. In fact, I was talking with Mike Manieri a week ago tonight for a long time. We had a blast. And
I need to see that. I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
oh,
Been kind of
I'll send you the
busy.
link. Well, Mike is cool,
Yes.
man. We had such a good conversation. We had a lot of fun. But through the interview, you'll hear where we keep bringing up your name because Mike says, "Well, my memory's kind of like this. It's like a torrential downpour, but the windshield's wipers are on the slowest speed possible. This is my life." He says, "But if you talk with Peter, he has the best memory in the world. So anything that I don't get right, check with Peter." So through the interview, about every 5 or 10 minutes, well, we'll check with Peter on that one.
Memory is an interesting uh, thing,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I've always felt fairly confident in not only my memory, both musical or for uh, memories. Um, but I would keep notes. I sometimes just writing random things down, or looking through my date books. And I did more photo documentation than most of my colleagues. So when Weather Report was in the studio, I would be snapping photos. No one else was.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking to a former student of mine, his name is John Krosnick, an excellent drummer. He has a band called Charged Particles in the Bay Area, and he's a professor of statistics at Stanford University. A very smart guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, we were talking about memory and how uh, even with the best of intentions, your memory uh, perception of recall can be quite different from the objective facts of something that happened.
Yeah, it
Um,
can change.
and so my book No Beethoven, I tried to be as scrupulously accurate as I could. Um, but it wouldn't surprise me if I think what happens to people, if you alter a story one time for the
Hmm.
purpose of whatever occasion you're telling a story, you want to add a little bit of punch to it. So you you change one of the facts. There you go. Thank you.
I have the book and the
Wow,
audio.
you have the audio book version.
I have
Cool.
the real book. I mean, the paper book too. I'm sorry to interrupt
Mhm.
you, but I'm a better rememberer and learner if I hear things.
Hmm.
And I
Well,
love,
we all have ways to connect.
yeah.
Uh, but oh, oh,
I'm
so
sorry. You were talking with this
well,
gentleman.
well, just the one time, if you alter the story a little bit, then the next time you tell it, you may tell that altered version again.
Hmm.
Um, his thing was more about when they interview uh, witnesses to some event,
Hmm.
four people who saw the same thing, but there'll be four very different uh, accountings of what had just transpired.
Hmm.
So we all filter and process, and not maliciously. But if you guys want memories, you want to see my favorite drummer.
Sure.
Okay, here's my favorite drummer, my
Ah, there
wife.
you go. All right. Let's see. This is awesome, man.
She was helping me set up one day.
That's
Um,
great. Hey, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I saw you 2 years ago in the studio when we were recording
mhm.
at Paul Taverner's place, your daughter was in a show, right?
Oh, Maya,
How's your daughter doing, by the way?
she's doing great. She
Because she
just
was
got a
playing a drum
Writers
in that
Guild.
show. It was great.
Oh, the timpani.
You
Yeah, it's
you actually
hilarious.
did a
Pen
little
15.
you did a little stuff in there too, didn't you, in the show?
I did some of the pre-record, and I taught one of the students. Uh, here's a picture of that's Maya and
Oh,
my
great.
son Tai Chi, the two kids. That was
Beautiful.
backstage at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh,
Not
nice.
not to place drop, but there you go. Um, so Maya's TV show Pen 15. Oh, here she is. This was the night that she shot the timpani solo episode.
Which
Um,
is hilarious.
and the
It's great.
gentleman on the right is an actor named Richard Karn, and he plays me more or less, the father
Okay.
in the family. And my wife Mutsi is actually playing the mother.
Mm-hmm.
And Maya did that insane improvisation on the
It's so
timpani,
funny. I love that. Yeah,
which is very funny.
it is
And I asked her
hilarious.
where. I said, "Did you watch YouTube video? Where did you get that?" She went, "No." She said, I just looked at the mallets and tried to figure out what would be funny." Um, but the one thing she did get from YouTube at the end of the solo, uh, she gets nauseated and vomits, and that was based on there's some video of some poor kid that was playing a drum solo and he got so nervous in the middle of his solo he vomited, and that was on YouTube, and so
Oh, jeez.
she took a little inspiration from that poor kid's
That's wild.
sickness. Anyway, her show's done very very well, and they were just about finished shooting final 7 episodes of season 2 when COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that these shows are scheduled, oftentimes they'll group the filming or the photography to take advantage of a location. So if that location appears in episode 8, 9, and 14,
Mm-hmm.
they'll do all that just at one time. So
Okay.
that's why the continuity people have to make sure that everyone's wearing the right clothing, and that they
Sure.
have the same makeup and the tone of the arc of the acting. It's pretty complicated, sophisticated
Yeah,
process.
sure.
So anyway, they were just 3 days shy of completing everything, and to Maya and her partner Anna, uh, not her uh, life partner, but her comedy writing and acting partner
Mm-hmm.
Anna, who plays her friend Anna on the show.
Mm-hmm.
To their credit, they shut down production about 3 or 4 days before the rest of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we're just not comfortable. It doesn't feel safe. And what compounded their concern was that it was raining a lot, and so people couldn't be outdoors. We
Yeah,
had to be, kind
sure.
of one on top of another. So um, they're just waiting for the opportunity to get back to filming. And the industry out here does have a pretty strict protocol in
Hmm.
place uh, for keeping everyone safe and being very rigorous about testing and so
Hmm.
on and so forth. Um, we got to get vaccinated and hoping that the vaccines don't run out and my wife and I can get our second vaccination as scheduled next week.
This will be soon, right? I remember your posting of getting the first one a
Yeah,
couple weeks
so it's
ago.
it's tw-
Yeah.
it's 21 days for the
Did you get
Pfizer,
you got the
and
Pfizer? Okay.
we're and we just went where we could get an appointment, and it happened to be the Pfizer.
Hmm.
We are we're due to get it next Thursday, so
Good.
uh, we'll see
Yeah, my
how it
wife
goes.
is came out of retirement temporarily to do a full time gig down at the fairgrounds here.
Oh, is she
Fairgrounds
she's
administering.
assisting,
She's a
administering?
nurse. Yeah, she's a nurse, so
Oh,
she
good.
came out and
Bless her heart.
she's there
You
now. Yeah.
tell her thank you. I you know I it was probably um how should I put it? When she was done with the shot, I thought she was still prepping.
Oh, really?
I didn't look, but I just didn't feel a thing. Sore arm
Mm-hmm.
for a couple days. I had a sore on the same side as I got the shot, the left, because I was it's drive up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a sore wrist, and joint pain was one of the symptoms of a possible side
Yeah.
effect.
Right.
My left wrist was really sore,
Mm-hmm.
and that got better. So I understand the second shot has a little more of a kick.
It can. I know people who've had it who had quite let's say more discomfort afterwards, but I mean, they're fine. Everything's fine, and uh, it's unprecedented times. So we're trying to move up, mom. We're trying to move up your uh, appointment close. Like here's something that happens. Not that anyone wants to
Your
know.
mom hasn't had her appointment yet.
No, we're working on getting that
Mm.
sooner, as soon as possible. But the
Good
thing
luck.
is like last night, for example, they overdrew at the clinic, and they had 2,300 people come in yesterday. About
Mm.
half first dosers, and then this is the first week of second doses. So they overdrew by a couple dozen extra shots. You don't want to, or vials. So that actually you get like 5 shots out of a vial, I think 5 or 6. So it's 100 something people. So she calls up her mom and stepdad, like, can you get down here? We have extra. If we don't give it away, it goes to or use it, it goes to waste. So I don't know why I said that other than mom. I'll call you later, because situations come up where you might be able to bop in sooner. In fact, sometimes because they'll go through
Right.
and refresh the page, and you might see an appointment pop up later
Right,
today.
right, right. That's what the
Yeah,
people are doing, refreshing pages.
fresh.
Or there are people that are hanging out at some of the vaccination sites, and then if they
Mhm.
have extra, they just wave
Yeah.
them in.
Hmm.
Well, good luck to all of us.
Yeah.
And now with new management in place, hopefully we can all get the vaccine as soon as possible, uh, because it's we need to get back to work, all of us. And we need, and it's not going to happen if you just try to deny and say this isn't real. It's very real. And if we all, do the gung ho, heave ho, work together towards the common good, um, it can happen. I once said something about the common good, and some wise guy on the internet said, "Oh, common good meaning what you think is good for everyone else." And I said, "No, the common good. This
Yeah.
had to do with gun safety. So
Oh, jeez.
what are you not
That's a
understanding
whole other
about?
thing.
That's a whole other thing. Sorry, I'm gonna
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
let's go back to memories. Hey,
Hey,
you were
oh,
talking about Victor
steps
Bailey.
ahead. Yes, yes.
What an incredible human being and musician.
Yeah.
What a joy it was to play with him and Michael Brecker, Mike Manieri, Chuck Loeb.
That's Chuck Loeb on the right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
So that's what maybe late
None of the rest of us got the memo about the ties. So we,
80s. Man, Chuck, this is also Michael Brecker.
yeah,
I've been listening to a lot of Michael Brecker lately. I go through phases of,
good idea.
I was checking out this one from Montreux, 1997. There's a whole concert on YouTube. Herbie, Dave Holland, Jack DeJohnette, Sko, and Michael.
Wow. Oh yeah.
They even do the Don Henley song, New York Minute.
Oh,
Which
that was the new standards. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like holy, and of course Jack. I mean all of them, right? But Jack's just got that Jack thing going on, and he sounds it's so beautiful.
I'm gonna. Two things I know because we're up for the hour. I want to show you how ahead of my time I was. This is 1974. Look,
There you
folks.
go. Whoa! The
Right,
Mask.
the mask.
That's great.
um,
We have
and
hellos from a bunch of people, just so you know. We got Skip, Julia, Teresa DeMuzio, Jeff Watts, Kevin
yay.
Goodman, Papu Chowdhury, Alex Trevi from Italy. Alex Trevi, I'm sorry, pronounce your name wrong.
Ah,
Ewan Crawford McKee, Andy Reeves, Helen Sterling. Hey, Mom. So, yeah, Michael Brecker.
hey, let me. Hey,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna. You said memories. I'm gonna do a little. You're tired of looking at my mug here. I have some
You
photos.
look good,
up,
man.
Okay?
You look
Here we go.
healthy. You look healthy. You look real good, man. I'm so happy for you. What you told me earlier.
Thank you.
That's great.
Why did I shave my beard? Why did I shave? For better mask fit.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
And
Sure.
my wife wants me to grow it back. Anyway, here we go.
Whoa.
That's my teacher conducting the band. That's my father's hand that you can see holding the bass drum.
Oh wow.
I was 6 years old then.
The runaway bass drums, right?
Yeah, that's
Gosh.
when I was 7. That's Marvin Stamm right
Oh,
there.
nice.
It's kind of fuzzy. Sam Donahue was playing the tenor.
Beautiful.
That's me with Lewis Hayes,
Oh man.
1961.
Mhm.
What a lucky kid I was, huh?
Oh man, that's great.
And in 1962, getting to play with Donald Byrd.
Yeah.
That
I think I
wild?
saw that on somewhere, maybe your website, and I'm thinking, that's just so great. And
That's
you went
with
to
Oliver Nelson. These were the Kenton summer camps, and then they became the National Stage Band camps. This was a National Stage Band camp with Oliver Nelson. I got to play in his band.
wow. Jeff
And
Watts says he found some timpani gifs of Maya, timpani GIFs of Maya. Are they like Jeff? Are those like the memes? That's great.
yeah, the memes, they're funny.
Oh, look
Uh,
at
that's with Ron Carter.
yeah,
There I am in high school.
beautiful.
That's the guy with the smarmy expression. That's me.
Check out that dog.
That's my Ludwig kit before I took the bottom heads off.
So is that the kit you had on the
That's-
first kitten tour?
Yeah, that's Bob Mintzer and me in high school.
Oh wow, man! So you guys, how far do you guys go back then? You know,
We go back over 50 years,
Wow, that's great.
and we saw that already.
Mm-hmm.
It's me and
Jocko.
Jocko in our striped shirt phase. That was the
Oh.
Mingus recording session with Joni Mitchell and Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
There's Wayne. He came on day 2.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I don't want to keep you too long. I have a
Mike
little
and
time,
Randy.
but
Oh, you got something else coming up, right?
no, not for a while.
No?
I got a half an hour, but I remember.
Wait, this is when Jeff and I were hanging out in Japan together.
Oh.
That's Charnett, John Faddis, and Dizzy,
Oh wow.
and just
I love
we talked about Jack,
Mhm.
and this is the last time I saw Jack. It was at a tribute to John Abercrombie, And I
Okay.
wanted to close off. So that night, we're talking about any number of things, and I said, Jack, I got to ask you about that beat you play on What I Say
Mm-hmm.
from the Miles Live Evil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was, I said, how did you come up with that? And he laughed and he said, just before we went on stage, he said Miles came up to him and started tapping on one of his shoulders and went
That's a great story.
and then whispered in his ear after he tapped it. He said, Jack, he said, play that shit.
That's great.
So
Wow.
said
So that was
Miles
it.
came up with it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Our heroes inspire us. Hey, hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, I once I start talking, it's
Oh, it's all
hard
right.
to
We'll do it
stop.
again
But
sometime down the road
all right.
here. I got my new nifty setup now, so I don't have the crappy sound anymore. And
Oh man,
so I
and
got this.
you're not only sounding good, you're looking good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Were you
In
going
my
to say
mind,
something about the microphone?
I tell people, like, in my mind, I feel like I might be 30. Now, my body does not always agree with that. In fact, it seldom agrees. But
30.
yeah,
I
oh
feel
yeah,
like
I just feel like a kid.
I'm still 18.
Good for you, man. You got me beat. So Jimmy Haslip introduced me to a gentleman a couple years ago see, I'm a car guy. I love cars. And this guy is the host of the Mecum Auto Auction. So if you're ever scrolling through on TV and you see MECUM, Mecum Auto Auction, the gentleman who is the host, you don't always see him much, but you hear him all the time, Scott Hoke, also a great bass player in Indianapolis. He read the audio book of my book, the Parkinson's book I put out last year,
Hmm.
because I don't think I'm a horrible reader. Even if I wrote it, I can't read it. So he had this and he wanted to get rid of it. And it was perfect. I'm like, okay, Scott, because he's the
Wow.
voice. And he told me this is the Bob Mincer mic and the Stevie Nicks mic, the Sennheiser 441. So it feel like a little Focusrite
This
preamp. And
the Stevie Nicks mic, huh?
mhm. Yeah,
Well,
and a
the
little,
mic I got,
mhm.
not
Well, go
this
ahead.
one. I got the Family Guy mic. I got um, Seth MacFarlane's engineer. I mean, when Seth does his vocal stuff, he uses one of those Sinatra,
Oh, yeah.
Telefunken amazing mics. But this is a particular Neumann that Seth uses for all his voiceovers. So I got one of those.
Oh.
Um, and I'm thinking of adding that to this setup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't show. Yeah, see, I didn't show you. So the other thing I do. Hold on. Here we go.
Jack.
Here we are. I have a little foot switch
Mm-hmm.
to turn the mic on and off, and then I even have a inline preamp over there somewhere, so it prevents it from popping. Here's the coolest thing I want to share with any. I have no
Mm-hmm.
stake in this, by the way, but for my brushes,
Mm-hmm.
it's called a Magno Buddy.
Hey, that is cool.
Isn't that
Because
cool? So,
that thing about when you don't know what to do with your brushes, you got to throw them somewhere, and then you don't want the wires to bend. It used to drive me crazy.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I
nice.
mean, I normally, I might put them there on a floor tom, and that can work for real quick changes. Some
Sure.
guys put them, like there. I don't like doing that. Um, but this, I first saw in Japan. It was like a leather thing that hung on the side of the floor tom. You could slap the brush up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because same thing. I put a brush in a stick bag and I reach in and jab my finger. You ever get a brush wire but under your nail?
No bueno. Yeah, I have.
Hurts, hurts.
It's almost as
Um,
bad as when you go to choke a cymbal and you cut your in between the finger on a. You ever do that?
oh
That's
yeah,
just no good. Yeah.
rivets. I've got rivet scars.
Yeah.
Um,
All that
anyway,
stuff.
I looked it up on Amazon, and here it was. It's called Magno Buddy. This is different, but you can either attach it to your floor tom or put it on a mic stand.
Mm-hmm.
I have mine mounted on a mic stand, and it's great. I can just put the brushes there. They never get, excuse me,
That's
they never get damaged, and it's very handy. So it's the company's in the UK. It just took a little over a week. So
That's great.
everyone get
That's
your
a
own
handy gadget.
get your own Magno Buddy.
Magno
And
buddies.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna sign off.
Well, great to see you, my friend. I'll
Thank
send
you.
you
You
that Mike
too.
Minieri video today. I'll shoot that
Yeah,
over.
and
That
then
was really fun
I'll get in
too.
touch with him. Mike is wonderful, and Adam Nussbaum, thank you. Jeff Tain Watts, man,
Tane, man.
the
Adam,
best.
man.
He's gonna meet with our students next
Oh,
month.
good. Beautiful.
I'm thrilled.
Gee,
Okay,
that's great.
everyone,
That's great.
stay healthy
As
and
Adam
hang in there.
yeah, as Adam says, stay positive and test negative. All
Good.
right.
All right.
Hey, thanks a lot, Peter. Great to see you. Thanks everyone
Pleasure.
for watching. I really appreciate this. It was a pleasure. Talk to you soon, my friend. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. That was a blast. By the way,
Thank you.
you're,
Okay,
you're still there. All
I'm
right.
still. I thought you were talking to me. All right. See you. Bye.
Oh, no, you don't have to hang up. I was just gonna.
I do. I have to get going now.
Okay, you're allowed
But
to
thank
do that.
you. That was fun. And get me in touch with Michael Malo. Okay.
I sure will. I'll connect you guys today.
Thank you.
All right. See
Bye.
y'all later. Bye-bye.